and welcome to the show. As a kid, you may have been aware of the story of the genie, the magic lamp, and being granted 3 wishes. Well, on today's program, I have the woman who actually created the wish game. And with the wish game, you can create as many wishes as you choose to grant yourself. Please welcome Louise Laffey. Louise, thank you so much for being on the program.
Thanks, Robyn. Thanks for having me.
And what a great game that you have created.
Thank you.
In a nutshell, because obviously we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of, how it's actually played, but for those people that haven't heard about the Wish yet, because by the way, this is going to take the world by storm. Absolutely guarantee it. What's the overview of the Wish?
Well, the Wish is a very special game, Robyn. And it's about you, which is great. The Wish helps you to achieve the goals and the dreams that you have in your life. So really you can live the happiest, most fulfilling life that you can. So it does that by helping you recognise blocks that are standing in the way of why your wishes haven't turned up in your life.
Okay.
And they can be conscious or unconscious blocks. And then it helps you during the game to actually clear those blocks so that you don't have anything standing in the way of your wish. So you're aligned with it, and it can turn up.
Okay. Now, firstly, from my understanding, because I've played the game with you a few times, one of the most important aspects in starting is getting your wish clear.
Yes.
Why is that?
Because when you take the time to really focus on yourself and about what you want your wish to be, the wish is simply telling you what your heart wants, what makes you happy. So when you take the time to be specific and focus on what you really want that's going to make you happier than anything else, then that helps you be really focused moving forward with the game and to work out then what's standing in the way of that.
So it's kind of like be careful what you ask for?
Be careful what you wish for. We always
Be
say
careful
that.
what you wish for.
That's right.
So can you give an example, say of yourself, of a wish that you had to really fine-tune to get the wording accurate and succinct, I guess?
Yeah, look, say for example that you're wishing to meet a new partner, you're wanting to have a relationship. So one of the things that I encourage people to do when they make a wish, if they're wanting to meet a new soulmate or a partner that they're wanting to spend their life with, which is what a lot of people are wanting to do, I ask them to use specific language and be positive and to really describe what it is they want in that partner. So use it in language such as, I wish to meet a partner who shares my interests and values, and someone who thinks the same way as I do or can complement the way I'm going to grow in my life. As opposed to talking in the negative, I don't want to meet people like I've met in the past, or I don't want them to have these habits or, characteristics. So it's really about being specific about what it is that you want about that relationship. So you can go into as much detail as you can. The trick about it being specific is that it helps you to be more open and honest about your wish. So the clearer you are about that, the more clues you'll get during the game that will help you clear those blocks to that person turning up in your life.
Okay, so let's start playing the game for a minute then, so to speak. So we've got our wish clear. Then what's the next sort of big step?
Okay, you have your wish, and then it's a very simple game to play. So we just simply start. You'll reach in and you'll choose one of the crystals out of the game bag. Now there's 8 special crystals that we've chosen for the game. They have energetic properties and they're designed to be able to assist you. They're your playing companion during the game.
Okay.
So what I like to say to people is when you reach into the crystal bag, let the crystal choose you, because it'll always be the one that'll be most helpful for you. It's about using your intuition to guide you about what's going to help you during the game. You literally reach in, choose a crystal, and then you'll have a crystal card that matches the crystal, gives you a few messages and insights about that. As you read through the card, you just see what messages jump out for you about your wish. Very simple. And then you start your game by placing your crystal on the infinity symbol anywhere you feel is right for you.
Well, let's infinity symbol, how did that happen?
Oh, infinity symbol.
Yep.
Yeah. With regard to the infinity symbol, it's a very important feature of the game.
Yep.
Central to the game. The infinity symbol was part of the message that I received about how the game was to be set up. The infinity symbol is really the symbol of the universe. It's about no limits to what you can have. So it's very apt that we're playing on infinity. Yeah.
Okay, makes sense.
So when you come to play the game, you're coming into the energy of infinity. Infinity knows no limits. Endless number of possible ways that your wish can be fulfilled.
Wow.
Yeah.
And there's 8 lots of cards.
8
Why
cards.
8 lots of cards? Does that get back to the whole infinity thing again?
No, again,
Number 8?
when the messages about the game came through to me, it was very clear there was going to be 8 cards. And as I got more messages and I understood what was happening there, there's a very strong symbolism of 8 right throughout the game. So the infinity symbol, which also looks like the 8, is there. Yeah, there's 8 sets of cards. But 8 as a number is hidden right throughout the game.
Isn't that phenomenal? Now, I also believe that you had no understanding of numerology when this first, and we'll talk more about obviously how it got created, but you had no understanding of numerology at the time.
I had probably a little bit of understanding, but when the complexity of how the numbers all started adding up, when I understood the game in its entirety, yeah, very surprising the complex numerology patterns that are there. So heavily featuring 1, 7 and 8 combinations.
Okay.
So the 1 being about the unity, the oneness of free will, you as an individual and your role. 7, as most people would know, is the spiritual number, higher power. And 8 being the infinity, which a lot of people understand to be about luck and prosperity and abundance. And so the 1 and 7 equals 8. And those combinations are right throughout the game.
Okay, and from my understanding, the 7 also comes up a lot in this game.
Yes,
Is that
it
correct?
does,
Can
it
you
does.
explain how that happens?
So the 7 comes up in terms of the spiritual power. So that's about the higher order number coming through the game. So that seems to be there quite a lot. So there's 17 steps, for example, on each side of the board. So the 7's there. It's you combined with higher power, the 1 and the 7.
Okay.
So yeah, it's throughout the game.
Alrighty. And what was interesting was this is actually our 70th filming. And I didn't plan it this way. Louise certainly didn't plan it this way. But when I said to you, oh my goodness, this is our 70th show, what's your take on that?
Well, I hear that being 7 and 0, the more I've understood about numerology now, is 7 being the higher power, but 0 actually being wildcard number. So it's about really getting you into a new cycle, a new quantum leap into perhaps a new stage for the show.
Yes, about time. Okay, now you haven't always been sort of this right-brained in your life, have you?
No, I haven't. I originally started off my life as a corporate lawyer, believe it or not. I feel like I'm a long way from that now. But I've always been interested in energy and metaphysics, and so I've studied a lot about philosophy and alternate thinking for the whole of my corporate life. So,
okay, let's go back even a little bit further. I believe you were born in Newcastle.
yes, I was.
And at the age of 6, you realised that you were clairaudient.
Yes,
You may not have actually put that name to it at the time, but share us a little bit about, as a 6-year-old, what you understood.
Well, being clairaudient for me, it means that I can hear pictures. And I often get things as mathematical patterns, or I hear information that comes down to me like pieces of information all the time in downloads is an easier way for me to explain it. So when I was 6, I realised that talking to my uncle and his wife was a little unusual because his wife had died a few years earlier.
Okay.
So and being able to recognise that I could do that. It wasn't something I was taught, and you don't really understand that till you're a little bit older, obviously. But
This was your Uncle Jack.
my Uncle Jack, who comes and visits me now. So it's funny when you are clairaudient, you can hear messages and you can recognise different sort of people and fields of energy.
Okay.
So.
How were your mum and dad about all this?
Oh, well, my mum and dad didn't have a background in that. My family are Irish, so they always say the Irish at Fae, don't they? So my mum always had that little bit of intuition, but it wasn't anything, really developed in my family. So it wasn't discouraged, but it wasn't, overly encouraged. So.
Okay. Very interesting story. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll find out more about Louise's journey and how it led to the amazing game called The Wish. Stay with us.